when Fort Huachuca became available, that's a post out in Arizona near the border, nothing around it. So we couldn't contaminate the community by our blackness.
The solution adopted by the American government to put only white officers from the South in charge of the men of the 92nd, because apparently they were most apt to commanding blacks, having the South had the experience with slavery, soon turned out to be a total disaster.
My battery commander was a native of Texas, a consummate racist. I could do nothing to please that man.
The white guys got most of everything, and we got most of nothing.
Because I can only say one word: we were black, period. That's it.
First company commander, I'll never forget him, Captain Neal. I thought he was the worst thing in the world. In fact, they ushered him out of the Army as a white captain. He was so terrible. He was from Mississippi, and he had a lot of that Southern stuff in him. He tried to pretend that he liked all colored people. Well, nobody likes all colored people. I don't like them all myself, to tell you the truth.
There were hundreds of cases of abuse and racial discrimination inflicted upon the African American soldiers, although they were serving their country. Many of these cases can be found in the book The Invisible Soldier. Their commander, General Ned Allman, born and raised in Virginia, put up with the abuses and beatings inflicted upon his soldiers by local police authorities when they were on pass off base.
When we were at Newport News waiting to ship out to Italy, there were German POWs that were taking care of various things. They were tame, but the German POWs could go to the White Officers Club. We couldn't.
Then when I got into service and saw we got a commander who come from the South.
Wives of the white Southern officers didn't like the idea of eating in a mess hall with blacks women. And so they protested to the battalion commander.
He believes all this crap, that they're superior to black folks.
The white commander said to the black officers, by the way, you can't bring your wives to the mess hall anymore. We were not promoted because then you'd be a black person giving command to a white person. And that racism continued throughout the career of the division.
We were able to put our personal feelings behind and concentrate on the war.
For the African Americans, the V for victory against the Nazi regime soon became a double V to signify victory against the Nazis and victory against racial discrimination at home.
We left for Italy in September of 1944.
In 1944, the Buffalo Soldiers set sail for Italy. First stop, Sicily.
I was coming from my airplane and across the road. I saw this tremendous convoy started. And then I waited for it. Then I looked, they were black people. and then I wasn't about to move, about to leave. I knew that the 92nd existed, but it was just arrived, and apparently they came into Sicily, Palermo, and then marched or rode in a convoy up to Messina and across the straits into Italy.
Following the liberation of Rome, German troops retreated towards northern Italy. The Gothic Line was the last German line of defense in Italy against advancing Allied forces. For this reason, the order was to defend it at all costs. Extending 320 kilometers from the city of Massa all the way to Pesaro on the opposite coast, the Gothic Line was a 10-mile deep belt of fortifications with numerous concrete reinforced gun pits, trenches, and machine gun nests.
And generally speaking, when troops are moving forward to replace a unit, when you get to a certain point close to the line, the officer who is leading the new troops in will say to the commander, have your troops lock and load, which means get a round in your weapons because you're getting into combat area. At that point, it was learned that the 371 had no ammunition.
It didn't take long for the Buffalo